Alright guys, welcome to the M. Night Shyamalan Review Series. I'm going to be reviewing every single one of his films, aside from his one film that didn't get a wide release. I forget what it was. It was a student film. Didn't even seem like my kind of film anyways. This one wasn't even fully my kind of film, Wide Awake. But I'm going to go through every single one of his movies until we get to Knock at the Cabin. I have a lot to catch up on because it's only 2 months away and he has 17 movies. So we're getting a lot of M. Night on this channel for the next couple months. Although this is a spoiler-free review, at the end of the video I will talk about the spoilers and the twists that are in this movie. I will give a good warning beforehand. Alright, so Wide Awake follows a young boy named Josh who had recently just lost his grandfather, and he's on a journey to find God, to see if his grandfather's okay and he's being taken care of. I have never seen this movie before, and these aren't really my kind of films anymore. Family friendly, maybe one day when I have my own family, but right now I like the thrillers, I like the horrors, I like the action. This isn't really my cup of tea, but I am a strong believer in God, so I wanted to see what this was about. That was the only interesting part of this for me going into it. How did he cover the topic? Let's talk about it. The pros, at least, of this film. For the most part, the themes and story was handled pretty well. Even the comedy in the film made me chuckle a couple times. It was subtle. The comedy that was supposed to be funny did not make me laugh. But there's a scene in which the camera's passing over a whole bunch of kids taking a test. There's a kid who has eraser marks all over his paper, and it was kind of funny because I'm like, we all know kids like that. The kids did seem kind of realistic. They weren't always the best actors, but they were written well, in my opinion. Even in this family-friendly film, there still is room for some M. Night twists, which is crazy. I was not expecting it, and it kind of worked out. He knows how to do a twist. He knows how to put evidence right in front of you, but he gets you to ignore that evidence, only for you to be like, duh, that's obvious. There are some good emotional parts that got me teary-eyed. Not too much, and I know they tried to go for more, and I didn't always break for it. I like the way they handled the message of God for the most part in it. This kid is questioning everything. I just wish the adults, the nuns, the priests, were more involved. I mean, I think Rosie O'Donnell, who is on the cover of the poster, and she's not really, like, she doesn't really do much. I don't know why she's there. His friend should have been on there, or his grandfather. I don't know why she's on there, even though the grandfather's not in it as much as he's more thematically important. I was bored through some of the movie. Not too much. Like, it's family friendly. It's only because it's family friendly. I am just not into this because it's made for kids. I read a couple IMDb comments, and the one person said I'm 14 years old, and I thought this was the best movie I ever saw. It changed my life. I think it's made for kids. I think he did a good job at making it for kids. It's relatable to kids, and I think it's a good movie I would show my kids, in my opinion. At that age, you have a ton of questions about God. At our age, we still do. So to tackle something like that is huge, and it's always gonna piss someone off. But I think he did a great job at it. Again, it's his first movie. He wrote it well, but I was bored at some points to it just because of the nature of the film. So I probably wouldn't go out and rewatch it ever. Even if I were to do an M. Night Shyamalan marathon, this film would never be in that marathon. I would like to have seen the story centered around the relationship between Josh and his grandfather. Those were the emotional parts, and they were just flashbacks. The kid at first came off as kind of annoying, the main kid, Josh, but he kind of grew on me throughout the film. I thought, I'm having a biological reaction as I'm talking to a girl. Alright, who are you, Sheldon Cooper? Come on. And they really humanized him. They made the kid quite relatable. My rating of this movie, it's a C minus. I see on the IMDb it's a 5.9. It's definitely not a 5.9. It's a decent movie. 5.9 is like an F. That's an F. I'm never gonna watch an F 5.9 kind of movie. If I give a movie a 5.9, it's a terrible movie. But yeah, no, it's an okay movie. If you're into this kind of stuff, it'll be for you. I appreciated what it had to say about God, but it wasn't always so interesting and didn't give any truly deep answers to those questions. It's not a bad start to his career. You definitely see a lot of where he's gonna go with his storytelling and his plot twists and all that kind of stuff because he does it well. He does it well. Spoilers. Now, there's not a lot of spoilers in this kind of movie, except there's two. His friend, Dave, Dave, his main friend in the film, apparently kept skipping school with headaches. He got out of taking a test because he claims his vision was blurry. That's how they explained it in the movie, that his friend was kind of blowing off tests, blowing off school just because he wanted to. He could get out of doing it. And then we find out after Josh walks in on him having a seizure in his house. Yeah. He has epilepsy. And it was set up throughout the entire movie that there was something wrong with this kid, but people blew it off as, oh, it's just a kid who's pretending to be sick so he gets out of doing school and school tests. That was well done. It shocked me. I'm like, what? With the kid's laying there on the ground and there's blood around his mouth. I'm like, this is a kid-friendly movie. What is going on? I'm like, is he abused? I had no idea, and it was crazy. And then the other twist is that there's this little boy who's running around the school, doesn't really talk at all, and Josh finally goes to talk to him at the end, and during a school photo, and the kid's not being part of it, and it's revealed that the kid is either God or an angel from God, letting him know that his grandfather is safe and happy. He's very good at putting forth evidence and taking your attention away from it, only to make you feel like an idiot at the end of the film, thinking, "Oh, I should have seen that coming." But yeah, he did the two twists pretty well. I wasn't as big a fan of the last twist, but I just don't think it worked as well. But I like that it gave the answer that God was there, and I would have been a lot lower on this film had it been a lot more nihilistic. So, but yeah, so it's a good movie. It's a good movie to show your kids. I would never watch it again. Would never watch it in a Shyamalan marathon, but it's okay. It's a C minus. So episode 2 is next, and that is his breakout film, The Sixth Sense.
I see